It's juicy, it's tender, and it's packed full with flavor. I'm talking about the 6-shooter roast.
Thanks to Kamado Joe for sponsoring this episode.
You can take your barbecue out and do a low and slow cook for hours on end, but you can also do an amazing rotisserie roast. And this is one of my favorites, and it's called the 6-shooter roast for a reason. The first thing that I'm going to do is fire up my Kamado Joe. I'm going to be using the regular Kamado Joe, and I've already have a little bit of charcoal in it that is left over from the last cook. I'm going to put in 2 fire starters, light it up. The core of this project is the ribeye, and this is one of my favorite cuts. This is the ribeye, and then on the other hand we have the chuck steak. So basically this is one of the best parts of the cow that you can get, and it's going to be perfect for a project because I need a round roast like this, and then we're going to build it up with, yeah, that's right, beef bones. The reason that you want these bones is because of the bone marrow that sits inside. And another name for the bone marrow is butter of the gods. Once this stuff melts, you're going to be over the moon by its flavor. And the idea behind this project is that we're going to take this and wrap the beef bones around the ribeye like that. And as you can see, it kind of looks like a revolver, a 6-shooter. And of course that's not all, because the first thing that I'm going to take care of is the seasoning. I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then I got a quartered red onion, 4 cloves of garlic, about 10 small twigs of fresh green thyme, rosemary leaves from 1 twig, a whole bunch of parsley, a whole bunch of fresh basil, a little bit of the PITMASTERX beef seasoning, and with a little bit I mean about 4 tablespoons, and I'm going to grind it up into a smooth marinade. And rub it in real good on the ribeye. It's going to give this roast project so much flavor. Let's get out some butcher's twine and tie this roast up. I'm going to take this butcher's twine and do a flip all together. All the bones, the twine, put these on top. Move it into the right position. Position the bones the way you like them. With the roast now ready, it's time to set up the barbecue. I got my bed of coals, it's starting to get warm. What I'm going to do is create a split at the bottom. Charcoal one side and the other bit on the other side. Then I'm going to take my rotisserie, place it in, drive the spit through the roast, get it in the center as much as you can. There we go, perfect. And these pins are there to hold everything in place. Make sure that the roast doesn't rotate separately from the rotisserie skewer. Same thing on the other side. And this now goes into the barbecue. It's as easy as that. Got to set up, make sure you center it. You might need to move it around again. Switch it on, and now it starts to roast. And this is going to be magical. It's going to take quite a while because we need to heat up the bones, heat up the roast, and get it all up to the temperature that we need to be at, which is 54 degrees Celsius core temperature. And that's going to take a while with a rotisserie, but it's going to be worth the wait because everything's going to be melty and flavorful. Now, you can close the lid if you want to. I am going to close the lid. That's going to speed up the process because you're going to be heating the top of the barbecue and the bottom. So all that radiation heat then comes from all sides, giving you an even better roast. It's going to be cooked more even and it's going to go a lot faster. Look at that. Now I put in a dripping tray halfway because there was too much smoke coming from the fat rendering down, falling into the barbecue. And I added a little bit of water to make sure that the fat doesn't burn the tray. Now this is starting to look really, really good. I only added charcoal 2 times and it just kept on rolling, getting up to that temperature. The thermometer says it's 52 degrees Celsius. Now we want to go up to 54 degrees Celsius, but you get that notification because the temperature is still gonna rise no matter the fact that you take it out of the barbecue, because the outside of the roast is hotter than the inside. Let's get this beauty out. See, this is the tray that I was using. I'm gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes before I take off the butcher's twine, and then we're going to dive into this beautiful roast. Look at that bone marrow. Let me show you why that's so special. You can just see that, put your spoon in it and it becomes like butter. This stuff is ridiculously tasty. And think about all the marinade we put on, and it also got soaked into the beef bones. Now let's get a slice out of this ribeye. Oh yeah, that is one juicy, tasty piece of beef. Insane. I can't wait for this. We got the outside, because if I slice it like this, I'm basically getting the burned ends of the ribeye. Cut that piece of fat out. That's a bit too much. That's always the downside of the end of the ribeye. You're gonna get a little bit more fat. You can always cut that off. Don't worry about it too much. Now, I got my piece of steak with the crust. I'm gonna take a piece of that bone marrow, put that on top. And remember, we saved a little bit of our seasoning, our marinade. Just a little dip dab on top. There we go. Cheers, guys. Oh. Wow, ridiculous. That is so good. Now let me try a little bit of that beef roast again. It's so tender and so tasty that you definitely need to try the 6-shooter roast. This is yours.
Thank you.
Piece of the rib cap. And then a little dabble of the, there we go. Gotta feed the dog.
That's really good.
Not bad.
Not bad.